Right now, you're moving incredibly fast, over 1,600 kilometers per hour at the equator, because the Earth is spinning. But you don't notice, since everything around you is moving at the same speed. It's like being on a smooth-flying airplane, you only feel the motion if something changes. So what if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? Instantly you, and everything else not anchored to bedrock, would be flung eastward at supersonic speed. The law of inertia means your body would keep moving, turning you into a human projectile. Buildings, cars, trees, everything would be ripped from the ground and hurled forward. The surface would be scoured clean in a fraction of a second. The destruction would be total and immediate beyond anything in human history. The forces involved are unimaginable, you wouldn't even have time to realize what happened. One moment you're here, the next, you're part of a fast-moving cloud of debris. It's not a gentle stop, it's a catastrophic planetary-scale crash. The good news? You wouldn't feel a thing. The bad news? Nothing else would survive either. The world as we know it would be erased in an instant. No warning, no escape, just sudden, absolute devastation. And that's just the beginning. The oceans wouldn't stop either. Water would surge eastward, creating tsunamis that would sweep across continents, not just coastlines. These waves would erase mountains, carve new canyons, and leave nothing standing. The atmosphere would become a supersonic wind, blasting the planet at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. This wind would sandblast the surface with debris, generating enough heat to ignite global firestorms. Skyscrapers, bridges, and cities would be shredded instantly. The energy released would dwarf all nuclear weapons combined. Even the planet's shape would change. Without spin, gravity would pull Earth into a more perfect sphere. Oceans would rush toward the poles, forming two massive polar seas and a supercontinent at the equator. The resulting earthquakes and volcanic eruptions would be legendary. The surface would be unrecognizable, permanently transformed in moments. The planet would be remade, but not for us. Survival? Impossible. After the initial chaos, the atmosphere would still be a nightmare. Winds would circle the globe for years, eroding mountains and filling the sky with dust. Sunlight would be blocked, plunging Earth into a deep, dark winter. Oceans now pooled at the poles would leave a barren equatorial belt. The land would be scraped clean, coastlines erased. Chaotic sloshing would cause endless storms and floods. The air would be unbreathable, filled with dust and toxic gases. No structure could withstand the winds. No living thing could survive outside. The biosphere would be wiped out in minutes. Ecosystems erased instantly. Any life deep underground or in the oceans would face a world with broken rules for day, night, and weather. The planet would be sterilized, reset to a state not seen since its violent beginnings. A fresh start, but not for us. Survival above ground? Out of the question. When the dust finally settles, Earth would be tidally locked to the sun. One side would face the sun forever, the other an endless night. No more day and night, just a scorched day side, a frozen night side, and a thin twilight zone in between. The day side would be a blazing desert, hotter than anything on Earth today. Water would boil away, the ground baked sterile. The night side would freeze, with temperatures dropping far below zero. The atmosphere would freeze and fall as snow made of nitrogen and carbon dioxide. Oceans would be solid ice, darkness absolute. Only the narrow twilight zone might be habitable, with perpetual dawn or dusk. Meltwater from the dark side could create rivers here, but life would be harsh and limited. Any survivors would cling to this sliver of land, caught between fire and ice. Life would have to adapt to brutal extremes. It would be a lonely existence on the edge of two worlds. There's another problem. Earth's spin powers our magnetic field. Without it, the magnetosphere would vanish, leaving us exposed to deadly solar and cosmic radiation. The solar wind would strip away our atmosphere, just like it did to Mars. The sky would slowly disappear into space. Radiation would bombard the surface, making it uninhabitable, even in the twilight zone. Electronics would fail, communication would end. The beautiful auroras would vanish, replaced by a dangerous, invisible glow. Space would become a hostile neighbor. To sum up, you'd be flung at supersonic speed, scoured by tsunamis and winds, baked or frozen, and finally cooked by radiation. The good news? This is just a thought experiment. Earth isn't going to stop spinning. So relax. Your real-life problems are much easier to handle. Dinner plans suddenly don't seem so bad, do they?